I'm just going to go up the top. I'm going to make another layer. Just going to lock this one. And I'm going to just call it badges. Sweet. So I'm just going to close that. If you guys don't know how to open your windows or your layers or your swatches, just go to window and you have all your windows here you can open up. So at the moment I've got artboards open. I've got my swatches. You can open your layers here as well, graphic styles and your color all there. So you just click those and they'll pop up just like that, and you can see it opens up and you can use that. So what I'm going to do, first up, we're going to do this badge. We're going to start with the circle. So if you press L, you'll get the ellipse tool. If you go to the left hand side and you right click, you'll see you get all these shapes, which is pretty awesome. You can use any of these, but I'm just going to use the ellipse tool. Just press L and I'm going to hold Alt and Shift. And I'm just going to click and drag. If you're on a Mac, it's just Option Command or Alt Command, which is pretty cool. So we've got our circle here. I'm going to press Shift X so we can switch it to the stroke. So now you can see on the left hand side it's a stroke. Shift X is the shortcut to make it really quick and shift it across. Now I'm just going to change the color to the dark brown, and I'm going to bump up the stroke. If you hold Shift and you bump it up, it will go up faster in tens. So up the top here, I'm just pressing the stroke, and that's just bumped it up really quickly, just like that. So we've got our main shape. Now we can start building out these other elements. So I'm just going to start with the floor. Just press M for the marquee tool, so you can create a square. You can create it like that. I'm going to press Shift X, and I'm just going to change it to a color, maybe this light green, just like that. I'm going to press Control Shift and left bracket, square bracket, and now it's going to bring it to the back, and you can see we have our stroke or our circle up the top. So we can select both of these now, and we're going to use something called the Shape Builder tool. The Shape Builder tool looks like, where is it? You press Shift M for the shortcut. Make sure you select your two objects and press Shift M, and you see it's on the left hand side here, and you got Shape Builder tool. And now what we can do, I've got these two. Every time I put my mouse over the shape, it's going to recognize it as one shape. So I can go to the edge here, hold Alt or Option, and press left click, and it's actually going to get rid of any excess that's around the circle, which is really handy. So now we have this piece, and we have this piece, which is all separate. And I can bring this up the front, but I want to make sure that it's on the bottom. So now we can start building these mountain stuff up. So I just press P for the pen tool. And what I usually do, I usually click and use this as a guide. And then I just slowly, just improvise. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just click and drag, and you see you got these anchor points. I'm just using these anchor points as a reference, and I'm just dragging out there. It doesn't matter if you go off the side, because we can just shape builder it off later on. So I'm just going to change the color and bring that to the back. And I'm just going to do it for the rest of these as well. So we've got our mountains, our mountain range. So I'm just going through here, creating some cool mountains. And I'm just going to select some of these, and I'm going to select the stroke and get rid of the excess. Just like that. And I'm just going to change the color so I can see what I'm doing. Bring that to the back. I'll bring that one in front of that one. And this last one here will be and I'm just pressing Control Shift left square bracket to bring that like that, and I'm going to delete that. So you can see we've got our mountains. I'm just going to go here and adjust some of the anchor points. You just press A for the direct selection tool, and you can just select the anchor points, and you can just go ahead and select that and just change it as you go. And I'm just going to move this across. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it's all about just creating some, depth to make it look like we're in some mountainous range. But the scout badge is going to be like a hiking badge sort of thing. So I've got these mountains. I'm just going to shift the color a little bit. It's just like that. So now we've got some depth. We've got our land and we've got our mountains. Now we're just going to build the sun. But press L for the circle ellipse tool again. And it's going to hold Shift and Alt, drag that out. And then to center this, what we do, select the circle and then select the outer stroke, holding Shift. And then once they're both selected, left click on the outer stroke. Then what we can do, we can center this. So press horizontal align And now it just moved, and you can see it's centered to the direct center of the other circle. So I'm just going to bring this to the back, and I'm just going to start coloring this a little bit, just like that. We can fix the colors on later, but we're just going to start building it out so we get some, feel for what we're doing. So I'm going to get rid of that. Now I'm just going to press M for square as well. So we're going to drag out a square. I'll just make this yellow for now, or orange. And then hold Alt, drag out these corners. And what we can do, if you hold Alt and Shift, and you drag it out, what you can do, make sure your smart guides are on, so it clicks. And what you can do, you can press Control D or Command D, and it just duplicates. You can see how if you can hold it, it just duplicates, which is really, really cool. So we're going to do that. Then I'm going to select all these and do the same again. Shift M for the Shape Builder tool, and just going to erase all this, just like that. And now I can start changing these colors using these yellows that I have here. Just like that. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to quickly unite these and bring it to the back. So now we've got our sky, we've got our we've got our sun and our mountains, and now we're just going to build a path just to give some more depth to this ground. You can even add some grass, or if you want to do water, you can add water, which would be pretty cool. So I'm just going to press P for the pen tool again, and you can see how if you have your smart guides on, it actually clicks when your mouse goes over the line. So if you want to turn those on, press View, and you click smart guides there, which is really handy. So I'm just going to draw a path. Doesn't have to be too crazy. And it can go across. I'm just going to change the color so you guys can see. So if you click and drag, you can see you get smoother curves, which is a lot more better. So we have our path, and then we select it, Shift M, Shape Builder tool it out, and then we can just make this stroke, and Control Shift, right square bracket, and that will bring that to the front. So you can see if I bring it to the back, these things are going to be in front of it, but we want to have a better stroke, bigger stroke, which I kind of like, and we have that. So what we're going to do with this badge now, I kind of like it, but at the moment the colors are not sitting right. So what I can do now, if I select this badge, select it all, we can go to color guide, and we can click this little button down here. And what this allows us to do, it allows us to edit our colors really easily. So you can see we get this box up. I'm just going to zoom out a little bit so we can see it better. So I'm just going to click it again. And you can see we get this box up, and you can see our colors are changing. So when you have color groups in your swatches panel, it's going to use these color groups. And if you just click on them, make sure the bottom box is ticked, and we can just quickly shift colors just like this using different color groups so you can get a cool look. Maybe we want to go with this look, and you can see the bottom here, you can manually edit colors if you want with these sliders, so we can manually edit them. Or we can click this button here, which will randomly change the color order. So I love this tool, it's awesome. It will just randomly change colors, and you might get some cool looks if you want. Or maybe I want to use a different color group, just like this. Or I can move it to where I want. Or I can even right click and I can add a row, or I can exclude colors. And really, you have so much flexibility. If you click up the left hand corner here, you got edit as well. We can even like drag these sliders here, and you get some really cool colors. If you want to break the chain, you can unlink, and then you can just drag and do some crazy stuff, get some weird colors if you want, and then link it back up by clicking the chain, and then you can do that and just play around with it, and you have so much cool, flexibility with that. But for now, I'm just gonna leave it, and it looks kind of cool. Just edit a bit of these colors here, just to make sure that it's, sitting right. You can even go to the color here, and if you click this drop down menu, go to CMYK, and we can actually play with these colors here, which is pretty nice. So because the light source is at the back, the lighter heals, it goes lighter as it goes out. So we can play here, play around with them. It doesn't have to be perfect, but we can just do that, play with the colors. I want to make this lighter, selecting yellow, and I'll make this dark, just like that. Okay, that looks pretty good. So sweet, we've got our first badge done. Now we're going to move on to the second badge.